Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. I hope you're all doing well today. I've got another beer from the latest Lidl, get me words out. Another one from the latest Lidl release, their latest range. Another one from Loch Lomond, the ever impressive Loch Lomond. And this is a can of their Zoom Time. And it's described as a Session New England IPA. Coming in at 4.5% ABV, 440ml can. This was £1.79 in my local Lidl, which is, on the outside looking in, is good value for money, right? It is brewed with Amarillo, Galaxy and Mosaic hops. It says it's got a passion fruit and peach aroma, citrus, fruit and pineapple flavour with a sweet, juicy finish. Sounds good. Malted barley and wheat. They don't go into ingredients much for Loch Lomond, but their beer is so good it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I've heard this one's really, really good. It's taken me a while to get around to reviewing it, but we're finally here. Oh, lovely aroma on that. So this is a Session New England IPA. So I'm assuming that means it's going to be quite light, quite drinkable. I'm hoping there won't be any real dankness or anything to this one. Very little in the way of a head on that. Hasn't really developed a head at all, but the light shining on that, that is a very hazy, I mean it's yellow, isn't it? It looks like custard in this light with the light shining on it. Hazy as you like, hasn't really developed a head on it, but the carbonation was fizzing away when I poured it into the glass. Just looking at the head, I mean, you make any, I can't even make out carbonation on that. No sediment to speak of floating around in it. Head has gone. Low levels of carbonation. Hardly any carbonation to speak of at all in terms of fizz or anything like that. Let's get an aroma. Smells lovely. Pineapple, peach. Has that kind of pineapple peach yogurt sort of aroma. Oh, it smells really tropical, but not overly so. It's like a vanilla touch to the aroma, and it's kind of just turning the volume down somewhat on that tropical note. Bit of citrus there as well. Oh, I've got to get stuck into this. Cheers. Very light, very drinkable, really thin mouthfeel to it. Very, definitely tropical. There is pineapple on the flavour, subtle grapefruit. Orangey, pineapple, grapefruit. Touch of mango on the flavour. Very, very subtle. Sort of yeasty finish as opposed to a hoppy finish. Not really bitter, nothing at the back end. It's just lacking a bit for me, this one. It's really thin, there's no body to it. There is a tropical hit at the forefront on the palate. It is quite nicely carbonated on the mouthfeel, to be fair to it. Just giving this a whiz, trying to wake it up a little bit. Lovely aroma. Nice tropical fruity flavour at the forefront of the palate initially. And then it just kind of peters out. It just kind of peters out into a very slight bitterness at the back end. It's just a bit underwhelming for me. It's very tasty initially. The body's not very good on it. I think that's what's bothering me about it. It's too thin. It's too thin, it's too light for the flavour. I think if we had a bit more substance to it, we'd be looking at another very good beer from Loch Lomond. As it is, I just think it's lacking a bit of body to go with that tropical flavour. And there's not enough bitterness at the back end to give it a balanced finish. This feels to me more like a tropical soft drink than a beer, if I'm honest. There's a lot of New England IPAs that go a bit over the top and you have like a horrible dank kind of overripe fruit flavour. This isn't guilty of that. What it is guilty of is not having enough body to it. It's too thin, it's too watery. All the sweetness is up front and you're left with a really subtle bitterness at the back end. And it's over very quickly. All over very quickly. No, this isn't Loch Lomond's best effort that I've had this year. I like the artwork on the can to a degree. Zoom time, very much in relation to the way we're all living at the moment, talking to each other on Zoom. At least I did, and I just got absolutely sick of the sight of Zoom phone calls. I gave up on them after a few weeks. Yeah, it tastes nice. It's just really thin-bodied, really short flavour to it. It's not as good as the Summit Pale Ale that I had by them the other day. That was a much better beer than this. But it is drinkable. It's just not a very good beer. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Like I say, I would drink it again. I don't think I'd buy it again. Even for the money. $1.79 is still good value. It's certainly sessionable at 4.5%. It's drinkable. You could smash that all day long. It's quite easy drinking. But it just lacks a bit of... It lacks body and it lacks complexity. It lacks balance. It's all upfront tropical fruit, and then there's a really tiny bit of bitterness at the back end and no real body to speak of. It doesn't really coat your palate. It's not a good New England IPA at 4.5%. That you can do better. I think Loch Lomond are capable of better. I'm going to give that a 6. A 6 out of 10 for Loch Lomond's Zoom Time Session New England IPA. Available in Lidl, £1.79 a can. Go grab one of those if that sounds like your kind of thing. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Give it a thumbs up. Until my next one, you take care.